All right, today's lesson is 6.1, similar polygons. Here are two definitions. One, definition of similar polygons. Polygons are similar if all their corresponding angles are congruent and the lengths of all corresponding sides are in proportion. All right, they have the same size, the same shape, but not the same size. Scale factor, this is really important. The scale factor is the ratio of the length of the two corresponding sides in two similar polygons. In order for two polygons to be similar, you do want to make sure that you check all of the sides so that they have the same proportion or the same scale factor. So first, let's look at these two triangles. I have triangle DEF and ABC. So first, what I want to just point out that all the angles, right? A is congruent to D, B is congruent to E, and C is congruent to F. So the angles are congruent, so now we can go ahead and make sure that all the sides are in proportion. So if we look first here, my pen ready? If I look at AB, AB is corresponding to DE in the smaller triangle. Okay, so if I plug in those numbers, I have 4 over 2, which is 2 over 1. I'm going to check all the sides. I want to make sure they're all the same. Okay, so if we look at BC, we're setting up a scale factor. This is the scale factor. Corresponds to EF, and that is 6 over 3, which again is 2 over 1. And the last side I have to check is AC, that corresponds to DF. AC is 8, DF is 4, 8 over 4 is again 2 over 1. So here is my similar statement. Triangle ABC is similar, see it's just like that little swoopy, no equal sign this time, to triangle DEF. Okay, notice I led with all of the sides from AB was in my numerator every time, and the triangle DEF was in my denominator. So the scale factor is 2 to 1. Is 2 to 1 for triangle ABC to DEF. ABC is twice the size of DEF. I want to talk about altitude. And altitude is the height, essentially, of the triangle. Okay, if I said that this altitude was 10, right, and it's perpendicular to the base, I'm going to let this altitude be x. I would simply start with the scale factor to find x. So we know 2 over 1 is the scale factor. X is the bigger triangle, so that's going to go in the numerator. 10 is the smaller triangle. We can cross multiply. We get 10 equals 20. 1x equals 20. So the altitude here would be 20. I guess I should put that on the other side. So we'll say x equals 20 here. That's that vertical, or the height of the triangle, the altitude. All right, the median of a triangle is the segment from the vertex, right? This is the vertex, to the midpoint of the opposite side. So if we start at the vertex and we go all the way down, I know this is the median because it's separated that opposite side, the opposite of the vertex, into two congruent segments. Again, if you need to pause the video to write down definitions, please do so. But this is called the median because it splits this part in half. which is different than the altitude, does not split the base in half. Okay, so the median splits the base in half. The altitude is simply the height of the triangle. Oh, here's altitude. Here's just some examples of altitude. It is perpendicular to the base, but it doesn't necessarily split that in equal parts, okay? So here, this altitude is here. Those are the altitude. That is the height of the triangle. Altitude. Okay, and it is perpendicular to the base. That is important. Okay, let's look at these two figures and decide if they are similar. And if so, we're going to write a similarity statement. Okay, so if you're looking at these two figures, right, they're quadrilaterals. First, let's just go ahead and say, is FGHJ similar to KLMN. KLMN. Now I'm going to put a question mark because we want to find out. Okay, so first let us look at the angles. Okay, first let's make F is congruent to K. So angle F, we're just doing this, okay? Is congruent to angle K. And G is congruent to L. And H is congruent to M. Oh, that did not come out so good. It's congruent to angle M. And the last one would be J is congruent to N. Now we need to check the scale factor for all four sides. So FJ corresponds to KL. So FJ is 8, KL is 6. We always need to reduce our proportions. Our ratios, I'm sorry. So 8 over 6 is 4 over 3. Now let's do GH. That corresponds to LM. That's 16 over 12. Again, if we divide both by 4, I get 4 over 3. Oops, I went too far, sorry. JH, I'm just going to work my way around this quadrilateral, corresponds to NM. That's 20 over 15. If we divide both or reduce both by 5, that gives me that 4 over 3. And I only need to check one more side, and that would be F. Oh, I see what I made a mistake in my thing here. Sorry, that first side I picked was FG, not FJ. I'm sorry about that. So that's FG. That corresponds to KL. If you were like, wait a minute, you're messing this up. Sorry about that. Now FJ, which is 12, corresponds to KN, which is 9. So 12 over 9. Divide both by 3, and I get 4 over 3 again. So they are similar. So our similarity statement is true. So FGHT is similar to KLMN. All right, so there is a ratio to the perimeter. Let's just look at that really quickly. First off, remember perimeter is just adding up all the sides. 12 plus 8 is 20, plus 20 is 40, plus 16 is 56. So ratio of perimeter. Let's see if it has the same scale factor. Oh, I guess we should write that here. The scale factor is 4 over 3. So let's check the ratio for the perimeter of the scale factor. So if I add up all the sides here, 9 plus 6 is 15, plus 15 is 30, plus 12 is 42. 56 over 42 reduces to 4 over 3. So even the perimeter of the similar figures is still consistent with that scale factor. So that's pretty cool, I'm just saying. All right, let's look at some more examples here. All right, triangle ABC is similar to DEF. So ABC is similar to DEF. We need to find the value of x and y, find the scale factor of the triangle, and find the perimeter of each triangle. All right, well, we already know that the angles are congruent because it said that the two were similar. Okay, so what we need to do is first, let's find the scale factor of ABC to DEF. So in this triangle ABC, there's only one side that's given, that's 10. That corresponds, right? AB corresponds to DE, that's 5. So my scale factor is 2 over 1. In order to solve for x and y, we're going to use that scale factor, and I'm going to set up a proportion. So 2 over 1 is equal to, if I'm looking for AC, which is x plus 3, AC corresponds to DF, and DF is 3. Now I can just cross multiply. Okay, remember when we cross multiply, we have to distribute through to the expression. Well, luckily I'm only distributing 1, so 1 times x plus 3 is still x plus 3. 2 times 3 is 6. Subtract 3 from both sides and I get x is equal to 3. So now this side is actually 6 because 3 plus 3 is 6. Okay, I'm going to do the same thing to find y. I'm going to start with my scale factor, 2 over 1. And y minus 5 is in my bigger triangle, so that's going in the numerator. 4 is from the smaller one, goes in the denominator. Again, we cross multiply. 1 times y minus 5 is y minus 5. 2 times 4 is 8. Add 5 to both sides. And I get y is equal to 13. Well, 13 minus 5 is 8. Or if you're like, oh, well, duh, 2 times 4 is 8, you could have done that and then solve for y that way. That's fine, but know that it's not always going to be as nice, and it's good practice to set up those proportions and solve for them. Okay, quadrilateral MNOP is similar to quadrilateral QRST. We are going to find the value of x and y. So MNOP is similar to QRST. So we can, now, all right, here we go. Let's check it out. First off, let's find the scale factor. So I see MP is given, MP is the same as QT, QT is given. So these two sides correspond to each other. So since quadrilateral MNOP was named first, the 12 is going to be my numerator. So this is the scale factor, okay? Right, and MP corresponds to QT, which is 8, so 12 over 8, and we reduce, and we get 12 over 8 divided by 4, and I get 3 over 2. That is the scale factor. All right, let us look here to find x. X comes from the first shape, so we'll start with the scale factor. Put our x up here. MN corresponds to QR. QR is 10. Okay, cross multiply. 2x equals 30. Divide by 2, x is equal to 15. All right, oh, my 15 got a little messed up there, sorry about that. Okay, now remember, the angles are congruent. They're not in proportion to the scale factor. So if you see here, M is 115, that means Q is 115. N is 62, that means R is 62. We both have that 90, oh my goodness, sorry. We have that 90 degrees at T, which corresponds to P. So we're just missing this angle here, angle S and angle O. So I'm not sure if you remember this or if we talked about this just yet, because in chapter 8 we will get more into it. But the interior sum of a quadrilateral, if you think about a square, has 4 right angles, and 4 times 90 is 360 degrees. So everybody in every quadrilateral is 360 inside. So if you take that 360 and we subtract the 90, subtract the 115, subtract 62, I get, all right, once I subtract those, I get 93. So that means S is 93 degrees, and Y plus 10 equals 93. Well, subtract 10 from both sides and you get Y is equal to 83. So we solved for Y, we solved for X, yippee! And we found the scale factor, so that was awesome. All right, let's talk about corresponding lengths and similar polygons. If 2 polygons are similar, then the ratio of any 2 corresponding lengths in the polygon is equal to the scale factor of the similar polygon. So it gives us a similar statement right here. It says that TPR is similar to XPZ. XPZ, TPR. So that means TR and XZ are corresponding sides. So 12, which is TR, and XZ is 16. 12 over 16 is 3 over 4. This is the scale factor. All right, so TPR is a smaller triangle than XPZ, right? It's 3/4 the size. If we want to find X, we simply use the scale factor and set up a proportion. 3 over 4 is equal to, X comes from TPR, so it's in the numerator, over 20. Cross multiply, 4X is equal to 3 times 20, which is 60. 60 divided by 4, X equals 15. Lovely, lovely. Okay, and this was the altitude of these triangles. They're like laying on their sides. So it was the height, essentially, that we found. Here is your assignment for today, number 26, believe it or not. Page 362, number 3, 4, 7 to 13, and 19 to 25. Again, if you have any questions when you're going over the homework, please send me a message on Schoology. I will be happy to help. You guys have an awesome day. Bye.